I drive out through like
you don't want to be Amish, but you're fascinated by them.
Well, or I'm like, I drive out there. I'm like, why the fuck would anyone want to come here for a vacation? But yet the place is fucking packed. Everybody's getting their shoe fly pie, and I'm like, I just don't get it.
Nobody has a phone.
But we're here, so we're in it. So it's Welcome to another episode of JBL Bites podcast. Hudson, John, we're pulling the curtain back on the shit it takes to run a hospitable business. Saying the thing other owners don't want to say out loud. You don't like that? Hospitable?
It was like a word. It was like a word.
Yeah, but if you watch any of my episodes, you know that my vernacular isn't the best.
We are not even on our second bottle of wine yet.
The lexicon is very Philly, Delco. It's, yeah, I'm drinking. I turned the water to wine.
That's right. That's right.
So, I was watching, I was trying to watch the final season of The Bear. You watch The Bear? Are you a Bear guy?
I like it a lot. I've only gotten a little bit. I can't get through the final season.
I can't get through the final season. And I saw a spoiler on it, so I'm not going to put the spoiler out there because, it doesn't matter. It's so late now. I think it's over. Everybody knows. But you haven't watched it, so I don't want to ruin it for you. I don't have any intention of watching the rest of it.
Really?
No. I liked it in the beginning, and I thought it really hit home some more kind of true to kind of scenarios. Like when it was really hot, when it was at the peak, customers all the time go, "Did you watch The Bear? Did you watch The Bear? Tell me, is it really what your kitchen's like? Is it really?" Fuck no, it's not what my kitchen's like. You kidding me? Fucking trash on the floor, fucking we're screaming, yelling, fucking somebody gets a good moment is I punch somebody in the balls and then I move along. Like, no, that's not what my kitchen. This is not a mission.
It was a lot like what
it's a fantasy. Right. Like it's the roast beef side. That's what the kitchen's like. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm like, no, it's not. It's such a small percentage. Now, does that happen? Yes. Are those guys, is that what the situation is like in those Michelin star restaurants? Yeah. Okay. Even more intense. Like a way further intense level than that. Some of these guys fucking, commit suicide and like it's intense. It's
do you know that old book, Michelin or Burgundy Stars?
No.
There was really great book that's out of print, but it talks about a guy going to get his third Michelin star and ends up taking his life over that whole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another guy who
deal.
Lost his star
and did the same
thing.
Yeah. That might have been him.
I think it was he lost his star.
I've read the book in a long time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're referring to. He had a star taken away from him, which was like, but it is, there is facets of it that are real, and then there is facets of it that are just so kind of
total fantasy. And so it's a hard question for me to answer people, but it made my wheels start turning. I'm like, well, that might be an interesting conversation for a podcast. Talk about celebrity chefs. Well, we could talk about celebrity chefs. I've cooked for a couple. I was referring more to the whole aspect of where kind of the both reality TV, the cooking show TV, and then now the drama TV with regards to how the kitchen and the restaurants are perceived and the just innate fascination from the general consumer with what goes on in a restaurant. It's like, I guess when you're in it, when you're inundated in it, you're not as drawn to it. It's not as fascinating to you, but it's kind of curious to me how people are so curious about it. Like it's like a weird dynamic, right? For me, it's like the Amish. Today's podcast is brought to you by my personal line of sauces, oils, and other accoutrements, Kitsch. Our sauces are all natural, jarred, and ready to go with wonderful recipes. Visit kitschsauce.com. Use promo code JBL Bites and get $5 off your first delivery. I drive out through like you don't want to be Amish, but you're fascinated by them. Well, or I'm like, I drive out there. I'm like, why the fuck would anyone want to come here for a vacation? But yet the place is fucking packed. Everybody's getting their shoe fly pie, and I'm like, I just don't get it. Nobody has a phone. But we're here, so we're in it. So it's it could be that same thing. Like people don't necessarily people don't come after me. That's right. Because now they're allowed to watch a phone as long as someone else is holding it, so they could see this. I didn't know how that worked.
Well, I was, I'm like, how do these fucking guys do it? Like, they don't have electricity, but they're all on fucking roofs with power shit. So they rent it.
Right. So
Somebody else does it. They don't own it. They're not using the electricity. They have a driver. It's like, well, then what if, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole other episode. But I do want to make a note, though. Actually, I think it's a really good note. Is you have brought up books, and I think that Kitchen Confidential.
Oh, it's one of the greats.
It would be a great topic for a podcast to discuss, because I think people are still enamored with Anthony Bourdain, but
especially now,
but I think they forget they're enamored with the now Anthony Bourdain, but they don't.
They don't know what
a lot of people
the sludge,
where it came from, and the story, and the prominent, the prevalence of that book. So, so anyway. If you think about it, you go back years, you got your Julia Childs, you got, your Emeril Lagasse, who I cooked for, and your Mario Batali's,
all the proliferation now of all these celebrity chefs between,
but
Marco
they were just
Pierre
cooks.
White and Gordon Ramsay, and
then that would be the next generation.
Jamie Oliver,
that would be
so on.
That would be the now. These were the
original,
the white jacket chefs, right? They're very calm. They're cooking shows or whatever. And then you had this transition into this, the Marco Pierre Whites, the Gordon Ramsay, the screaming, the yelling, and then from there into the tattoos, and then now the drama series. And it's like, it is all so far from the reality of what your local business and the vast majorities of restaurants that you go into,
right?
Like,
or that really go through, like, what the day to day is.
Yeah, like I love when they're just doing the simple wine orders in that thing. I'm like, well, that's not the fucking way it goes.
Right.
Like, I wish it was that easy.
Here's what's out of stock. Here's what's actually still in stock. Because that happens every week to everybody. But it's like that. It's like that with everything in the kitchen. We used to go. When I was in it, we used to make that run down to the food center, because I know you've done it.
I do it all the time.
Right?
I still do it.
And
to this day, I do it.
But you don't do the 4 o'clock in the morning run anymore.
I don't do the 4 o'clock in the morning run going and getting
that.
But I will. I'm gonna, when we're done this podcast, I'm gonna jump in the van and I'm gonna go pick up produce, and I'm gonna anything to shave a couple points, and I'm gonna pick things out. And so I still,
and there is that difference.
I still do it. And so that's the thing where it's like, okay, they glamorize this. I'm going to the fish market and I'm fishing. That's bullshit. It's not glamorous. I fucking I hate it. It's a nice thing to do, but it's not this joyous ride and going and and I'm talking to the fishmonger and I'm talking to this guy about this. That's fucking, it's fantasy. Unless you are that elite 1%. But that's not what you're going into and experiencing. You know what you're experiencing? A guy that gets up at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning and fucking is on his computer for 4 hours and slurps down 6 cups of coffee, and then he has to do a call with the bank to make sure that there's enough money in the account
to cover the orders
and everything else. And then he's coming into the restaurant and he's doing X, Y, and Z before anybody even gets there. And then he's meeting the guy to fix this or that because it broke the other night, and that's what he needs to go. Like, that's the reality of it. And they touch on bits and pieces of it, but I don't think they really, because it's 30 minutes to 60 minutes TV. They can't show it.
Can't show the 12-hour day.
But it's like, I think the one thing I liked about The Bear is, although it had such focus on, Carmen as the chef or whatever, and it did show his kind of mental attributes as far as the kind of being disconnected socially, this and that. And a lot of that is true, for renowned chefs or really good chefs, but not the be-all and end-all.
Right.
But what I did like is that it showed the rest of the staff as prominent characters, and that's really the crux of the kitchen. Like, my guys can do my shit better than I can now, right? They're machines. I get on the line and they all cringe because I fuck up the night.
Slow it down.
Well, because I'm a perfectionist. You know what I mean? Make sure that this is in there. Put that butter, shallot, garlic, thyme. This. I'm building every individual plate.
Right.
It's volume based, so we've kind of transitioned into making really nice sauces so that we're eliminating some of those steps. But I'm incapable of that. That's not how I learned. That's not what, so I just fuck everything up. You know what I mean? But that's what it's not showing.
Yeah.
The chef standing there, you chef this, that, like,
again, that's the 1% that you're seeing. So I think it's very curious to me how TV has really changed the whole restaurant dynamic over the years. And I think initially it was people were enamored by the chef that cooked on the show and their food, right? And then I think it became more about the screaming and yelling and the abusiveness of it. And ironically, if you follow or do anything with Gordon Ramsay, if you start seeing some of the stuff that he does, the philanthropy, the kind person that he it's so I'll never here's a perfect example. So I cooked for Mr. Wonderful, right?
On Shark Tank.
Yeah, several times he's been in, and he was promoting his wine line. Now, you watch the show. He's a cutthroat jerk off who's like, this, that, and people are like, no, and so he did a really nice video for me. I did a catering thing for him, and he held up a sign. He's like this, and he did a live post from in here.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He did a live video in here when he's in our wine room, and he was just this really kind,
magnanimous guy.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. And so every time somebody would, see the picture that I posted or come in and want to talk about it. Oh man, was he mean? Was he tough? Was he difficult? Was he? And it's just so funny to me how the TV persona
has created that persona,
yes,
right?
And so a Gordon Ramsay, he comes across, he screams and yells, but that's just for this. That's not who this guy is, or this. Like I said, Kevin Leary came in. When I tell you the kindest, nicest, fun, he was just great. He was a great guy. It was awesome. And so it was really weird, and vice versa. And I'm not going to say names. I've cooked for celebrities that on TV have this really nice persona, and I could mention a couple of them. A lot of them being a female chef that
let it go,
and they're just miserable, nasty people. So it's kind of it's very interesting. Or Emeril Lagasse. So I cooked several times for Emeril Lagasse. And, everybody's like, oh, how was he? How was this? I'm like, well, I don't know. I was so fucking nervous. I was up everybody's ass cooking the food to make sure that it was right. And then when I came out, he was just like, fuck, he's passing around food. He's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
He just, he's like, I love the attention. I love the hospitality. The food has been great. Super, super nice, Drove me a little crazy when he called me, in the middle of the night, around 12 o'clock at night, or it was 10 o'clock at night. He was on QVC.
Yes.
He's on QVC. It's fucking snowing like a motherfucker here, right? All the restaurants are closed. I get a text. Emeril would like to know if you could open up the restaurant for him and cook. I'm like, I'm fucking in there. I live a half hour away. The restaurant's closed. There's 6 inches of snow on the ground. So, there was a little eccentric nature there as well. But I mean, he was another one. Really great.
Did you get here?
No, I didn't do it. No, I would have been
that would have been a great story.
Hell of a story if I had did that.
So I had the same experience with him and a bunch of other celebs. In a whole other time frame when I was over at the Sheraton in Great Valley, and I was running that whole food and beverage operation over there, and we had a lot of celebs come through too. And it's funny because there is that difference of perception, and he was one of the nicest, most kind, gracious people, but just like a regular guy. I think the thing about that's sort of funny that's always strikes me about Gordon Ramsay is because it goes to that, he's such of this, not volatile. He seems so angry. They portray him as so angry, and I think that's because of it's something that you and I've kind of talked about before. He's just that way because people should know better, right? That's what he's angry at.
And he's not saying that
you should know better.
And I'm not saying that he's. I've been in one of his kitchens. I don't know. I wish it's not.
I've eaten at his restaurants though.
I've eaten at his restaurants.
Pretty gosh darn good.
I mean, I would venture to say probably the vast majority of the time, his kitchen is running very smooth, and people are happy to see him in the kitchen. The staff is happy to see. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off base on that. But if I had to guess, He's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to teach. He wants people to do the right thing. You don't just yell and scream and expect that everybody's going to respond, especially nowadays, because everybody's found feelings. Everybody got feelings now, so you got to be careful what you say and how you say it and what you do, and the old yell and scream and then have a beer at the end of the night and a handshake doesn't exist anymore.
No, that's the kitchen that I grew up in.
Yeah. So
French.
yeah, that's how we all grew up. Yeah.
The George Perrier stories, all the George Perrier stories are all true.
Yeah.
They're all true.
Exactly. Like, I know there was eccentricities. See, that lexicon. I'm trying really. I'm trying to look like I'm an educated Delco man right here. But, and I'm not saying that it doesn't go on, but it's such a small part that is so exacerbated by these shows. Like, if you're getting into this business, especially, I mean, if you're getting into any small business, but especially the restaurant business, everybody will say, oh, it's financial. And financial is a lot of it. But, I mean, you're talking about the stuff that they don't touch on. You're never home. The high probability of divorce. Vacations don't exist. Holidays aren't there anymore. You're going to miss, your daughter's ballerina. You're not going to be at all the things for the school. You're not. And if you are, and if you think that that's going to happen, you're going to fail. I can unequivocally 90% say that if you think that you're going to be at family functions and you're going to watch your kids grow up and you're going to be there, that's fine, but you're going to fail. I tried to have a balance of both with my children, try to be the father that was there for things, but also, and I was failing. I was definitely failing as a restaurateur. It wasn't until I ended up getting divorced for the second time and really throwing myself into this business that, for example, prior to getting divorced, I worked hard, right? But I thought I worked really hard, right? And then after, when I had the time to really throw myself into the business, I realized what hard work was like. And then I can tell you 5 years after that, I'm working even harder. Like, it is just non-stop perseverance to be successful. And any of this shit that you're saying that flowers it any other way, I think it's just bullshit. Yeah. And I'm not saying there's not some fantasies and dreams that happen out there that, are overnight successes and whatnot, but they're rarities. Far between. Like, the glamour and what is the glitz that is put out there, So I do like some of the aspects of The Bear that it kind of, it did showcase some of that, right. Some of the stresses, the family stresses. It did showcase the other people in the kitchen, which are so important. Like, they're more important than
it's a team. It's a team.
I don't want to say they're not more important than the chef, but I'm not running without them.
Right.
And half the time, I'm not back there anymore.
Yeah, unless you're cooking for 4 people.
We're doing a menu change. I'm back there. We're introducing new dishes. I'm back there. But once they have the rhythm, they take it and run, and they perfect how it needs to be done to be turned out. Proficiently, efficiently, at the volume that I need to be served. And that's the shit you don't see. That's the stuff that the TV doesn't show and is more true to, what it's like.
No, I think that's that's really true in any business. It's true in, it's true in our business, in the wine business, that, everybody has this. There's a bunch of, if you go on YouTube, there's a whole series of like great memes, not memes, but little clips out there that, it's like you're just putzing about with your little bag of wine and nobody sees the fact that, it's, 12:30 last night, I was still putting in orders for people. It's this morning I'm up at 6:15 checking to make sure that the loop system didn't automatically fail a whole bunch of orders. Everybody just thinks like, oh, you're in the wine business, like being a banker now. It's like, and if you're good at it and great at it, it's not even close to that. It's like it is to a large degree just like the restaurant business. Where you're worried about whether or not the dishwasher broke or the stove broke, I'm worried about did the truck broke down, and now I've got to figure out how to get another truck out to that truck and move those cases to the other truck, get that truck towed, get the driver back to the warehouse so he can go back and pull cases for the next day's deliveries, and then make sure that those boxes get out. Meanwhile, fielding calls for restaurants, go, hey, your guy's usually here. Are we not getting our wine? What's your problem?
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying. You know, you're seeing, the Barry's, he's on dates. He's doing this. He's, the Christmas dinner. I'm like, you know what? But this stuff, for example, yesterday, my day, 6 o'clock in the morning, I started.
Yep.
Putting in orders. Then I spent, 2 hours working on, the next chapter of my cookbook. Then, I went to go pick up the orders. Then I had to come in here because my staff, because I was away last week, they're very tired. I had to give them a couple of days off. So I needed to be here all day. I was here all day for that, right? I didn't leave until 10 o'clock at night. 8:30 at night, if somebody's knocking on the office door, here's my daughter who's serving and nights like that. I think you need to eat, brings me in dinner, sit at the desk. I'm eating that. I don't get home until 10:30. Then I spend another hour and a half doing some ordering, a couple of things. Now it's midnight. I am going to bed, right? And I've worked the entire day. Yep. I'm going to bed, and then I'm up again at 6 o'clock doing the same thing. Did some ordering. I worked on my cookbook. I did a couple other things, paid a few bills, came in and did the podcast. So it's all the time. And that's normal.
That's normal.
This is not an exception.
Yeah.
That's
our every day.
Normal day. And if you're not willing or able to put in that kind of commitment, you should not get into this business.
Or
really
think
any business.
Right? You should go be an employee somewhere where you can, when you're done for the day, you can just check off and you're done. But, and this is true, I don't care what kind of business you're in. If you're in business for yourself and all the responsibilities are yours, right? You need that level of commitment because that's the only way you'll be successful. Otherwise,
1,000%.
You're going to be working.
And I'm going to leave it with one last note, for this episode.
Before you get to that,
go ahead.
I will give you the one thing that TV maybe was the most accurate about the restaurant business. You remember the Dunkin' Donuts commercials back in the 70s and 80s?
Time to make the donuts?
Where the guy walks in and out of the house, time to make the donuts, he walks back in and runs into himself as he's leaving? Yeah. That's the restaurant.
Yeah, that's you're really good at dating yourself on these podcasts, just so you know.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
There's going to be very few people in the social media generation that know what you're talking about, but hopefully they Google
look it up. They'll look it up.
Yeah. Do some kind of a search. But the last note I would leave on this is that if you're going to be in business for yourself, one of the things that I always say is make sure you pay yourself. Make sure you get paid, right? The caveat to that is you also have to be the guy who's going to give up that pay when there's not enough for your employees. So, and you're going to have both sides of the spectrum. And you have to be willing and, again, able to do that. So it's not for the faint of heart. I'm not telling you, it's glamorous, it's rewarding. I still think it's one of the best businesses out there. I love it.
It's a sickness.
I had just did one of the posts, and Michael Simon had commented on the post where I was, basically he was saying, it's still one of the best businesses out there. And I was like, it is.
It is.
It is. It really is. But it's not for everyone.
It's not this time. It's every time.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah.
And now you've got to say mine.
Oh, fuck me. Like, subscribe, float our ego, and
follow and share.
Follow and share. Cheers.
Cheers. Have a great day, everyone.